Oh my fucking god. I'm tripping. I don't know if I'm tripping or what the fuck. But I think history was made. Holy shit. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Holy shit. Money. Wow. Oh my god. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for Money in the Bank, and holy shit, what a night. Like, you can't write this shit up. I swear you cannot write this shit up. And I know that my brother is going to be watching this video when it goes live, when it goes up. And if you are watching this video, what you're about to hear from me is gonna blow your mind. Like, I swear. So the night kicks off with the kickoff show. As we see the return of Jeff Hardy, who we haven't seen, oh my god, I believe in the last in the last month, actually in the last month, as he went one-on-one with Cesaro. Now, the last time we saw Jeff Hardy in the ring competing, it was actually a little about I would say about a month ago, where he actually battled King Corbin, and for some reason Michael Cole called it the Twist of Fury, but they took it back and they renamed it its original name, which was the Twist of Fate. So, but with that being said, Jeff Hardy actually defeated Cesaro with a Swanton Bomb to pick up the victory, and it was an incredible matchup considering the fact that both Cesaro and Jeff Hardy have actually been in the ring together several times in the past. So, nothing too surprising there. So next up starts off the main card, as we saw the New Day defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Lucha House Party, Miz and Morrison, and the Forgotten Sons, who were making their pay-per-view debut, if you will. And this was a back-and-forth matchup. Of course, during the match, Jackson Ryker did get involved, but as Corey Graves pointed out, if you guys watched the match, Corey mentioned that there was no DQ under Fatal 4-Way rules, so there was no point in the referee ejecting Jackson Ryker from the match. But of course, too, the referee did indeed do that. It was a back and forth matchup. A lot of close near falls, but in the end, Big E actually hit Grand Metalik with the big ending and pinned him to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Thus, the reign continues. Alright, you guys, next up, originally it was supposed to have been R-Truth versus MVP, but because that MVP decided to take, but because that Bobby Lashley showed up, MVP was like, you know what? You handle him. I'm gonna take the night off. R-Truth inadvertently, just accidentally, slapped him. That backfired on him because, a vicious spear to R-Truth gave Bobby Lashley the victory. Alright, you guys. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship as Bayley defended against Tamina, and I'm gonna be real. Tamina was this close. Okay, she was this close from winning her first ever championship in WWE. She has never won a title in WWE, not once in her career. Not once. And she's been in WWE for a little over 10 years now. But of course, even though she came this close, with the help of Sasha Banks, Bayley rolled up Tamina to retain the SmackDown Women's title. And yeah, it didn't really end so well. Honestly, though, I think to be honest, I think Tamina really should have won that one. Just because of the fact that Tamina has been through quite a bit throughout her whole career, especially in the last couple years, actually. The last 2-3 years, I think. Dealing with a series of knee injuries, back injuries. I believe she had to deal with a shoulder injury right around 2017, if I remember right. Because we hadn't seen her in a long time at that point. And yeah, she definitely deserved to become champion, but she did not get that victory. Alright, you guys, now we move on to the Universal Championship. Braun Strowman defends against Bray Wyatt. And what was interesting about this match was that this was a match 5 years in the making. Because if you guys remember, Bray Wyatt actually brought Braun Strowman into the main roster back in 2015, right around the summer, actually. Right around, I would say close to the end of the summer in 2015, and Braun Strowman was known as the black sheep of the Wyatt family. So it was Wyatt, Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. Of course, too, we know that Harper and Rowan actually were released from their contracts. I believe Harper is with AEW. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe he's with some promotion portraying, with his old character from his early days on the independent scene. I think Brody Lee, if I remember right. But anyway, and Strowman mentioned in one of his promos, I think from this past Friday, that Bray Wyatt feared Strowman, and that Bray Wyatt should fear him now. And turns out that was true, because Braun Strowman was playing mind games on Bray Wyatt, wearing the black sheep mask, and he power slammed Bray Wyatt to the mat, viciously, pinned him, and retained the Universal Championship. I have to say, that match was absolutely incredible. Probably the best Braun Strowman has had in a while, actually. Big shouts to him. So you can bet your ass that at our next pay-per-view, which is actually Backlash, Braun Strowman will definitely be defending his title, as will this next man. Because we have Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship, and this was a close one. Because both Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are actually polar opposites of one another. Because if you think about it, when Drew McIntyre debuted in 2009, he was like this. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how to describe Drew McIntyre from back then. I think if one thing came into mind with Drew McIntyre from 2009, I think the one thing that would come into mind would be the fact that he was praised, if you will, by Vince McMahon himself. So I think that would be the one thing that would come into mind. But again, they are so different. They may be different as individuals, but in the ring they are so alike, because both men are very agile. They're both strong, and they're both quick on their feet when it comes to being in that ring. And this moment in time, and this moment actually proves it, because Seth Rollins took out the knee, targeted it, and Drew's knee was hooked through the turnbuckle, and he was upside down. Even when upside down, Drew McIntyre lifted himself up, threw Rollins over his head, and then just instantly claymored, instantly gave Seth Rollins a claymore to the face. And with that, Drew McIntyre retained the WWE Championship, which was incredible. I've never seen anything like that out of Drew McIntyre. This proves that Drew McIntyre is worthy of being champion on Raw than Seth Rollins. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. Seth Rollins is an incredible athlete. We all know that. He was an incredible champion. But at this stage in his career, there's not in my opinion, there's nothing left for Seth Rollins to prove. I think honestly, Seth Rollins, in my opinion, should just back off, do his own thing, and when the time is right, then maybe yes, go after another championship. But other than that, I think he's got nothing else left to prove. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which started on the ground floor. Now I want to point something out. Okay, ground floor. You would think it would start on the outside, literally outside of the building, WWE headquarters in Stamford. You would think it would happen there. No, the men's match, the 6 men, which were Daniel Bryan, were from Raw. From Raw was Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, and the return of AJ Styles. From SmackDown, you had Daniel Bryan, King Corbin, and Otis from Heavy Machinery. And then for the women representing Raw, you had Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. From SmackDown, you had Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. This was all over the fucking place. The men's matchup, the men's side, started out in the gym. Right where the whole Ico Pro bullshit, the Ico Pro commercials, took place, was in that area. The women's match started in front of the elevators on the bottom floor. This was incredible. This was all over the place. And guys, I swear, I never seen anything like it before. Just to show off a couple of some of the moments, we saw Brother Love coming out of the men's restroom. We saw Paul Heyman eating a plate of food, and that whole thing turned into a food fight with both the men and the women. We saw AJ Styles seeing a ghost as he opens a door. Okay, think about this. He opens a door. The lights are bluish purple, and he sees a casket. Yeah, and then Aleister Black decides to kick him in the face, pushes him into that room, and closes the damn door. Closes the door. We even saw Otis take weights. I don't know what they're called. I honestly don't know what they're called. Comment below if you guys know what they're called, because I have no idea. I want to say dumbbells? Something like that. It's like one of those long-ass bars, got a bunch of weights on them. You guys might know. You guys know what I'm talking about. But he literally put that on top of Styles. And Styles wanted Mysterio to help him out. He's like, nope. You on your own, bitch. And he's like, oh, God. Oh, I'm going to beat your ass. Not only that, but we saw Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles beat the hell out of each other in Vince McMahon's office. I actually called it. If you guys, I believe I called it in my prediction video on Wednesday or Thursday, somewhere around there. I called it that somebody was going to be in Vince's office. I actually called it. Yeah. I was literally on the floor laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh no. Oh my God. And even Vince was like, get the fuck out. And they were like, okay, you know what? We're just going to put the chairs back where they belong. Walk out. And they started beating the hell out of each other as they walked out. Not only that, but we saw what was it that Stephanie called it? The Money in the Bank conference room. And Dana Brooke grabbed actually unhooked a briefcase. Yes, it was a briefcase, but it actually had money inside. No contract, just money. And Stephanie McMahon was like, The real briefcase is on the roof. And Dana Brooke was like, oh shit. And yeah, that was actually kind of funny. So then we go up to the roof, and this was back and forth. The remaining 3 superstars for the women that got to the roof were Nia Jax, Asuka, and Lacey Evans. Asuka, with the wherewithal, she climbed the ladder, and as Corbin was climbing the ladder, she slapped Corbin. Corbin went onto the floor, and she grabbed the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Thus, yes, Asuka does win, has indeed won the women's has won the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. But then the men's matchup was still going on, and all 6 men were there. Corbin decided to throw both Mysterio and Aleister Black over the roof and onto the floor of the roof because the roof was, I guess, like a 2-story or something like that, something like that. And what's funny about this, you're gonna laugh. You guys are gonna be on the floor laughing like I was. AJ Styles and Baron Corbin both unhooked the briefcase, and they both threw it at Otis. Otis clenches onto the briefcase, and he didn't even need to climb the fucking ladder. Like, really? Really? I was just in shock. This was my experience. Like, I was like this for like 2 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? I swear, I don't know what they're gonna. Oh my god, I'm tripping out right now because keep this in mind. Otis is still a part of Heavy Machinery. Tucker was taken out of action because of Dolph Ziggler. I will bet you anything, that Dolph Ziggler is gonna force Otis to defend the briefcase against Dolph. Dolph wins it, and he becomes the new Mr. Money in the Bank. I will bet you anything that will happen. I swear. You cannot make this shit up. I swear. And what's interesting was that both Styles and Corbin did throw the briefcase to Otis, but it was because of Elias. Elias made his triumphant return and hit Corbin with the guitar, and the briefcase just boop, landed into the hands of Otis. And yeah, that was that. So yeah, that's actually gonna do it for the results of Money in the Bank. Question of the day: What did you guys think about Money in the Bank? Answer and be sure to answer in the comments below using the hashtag MITB. And that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My links are down in the description below. And be sure to check out my sponsors, The Collector Store. I have done business with them for a long time. Never had any problems with them. Check them out. The link to their store, to their online store, will be in the description. And of course, you guys can check out Money in the Bank on demand on the WWE Network. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out. Holy shit.